Who gave you love when you thought you didn't deserve it? I aged out of foster care at 18 with a garbage bag full of clothes and more anger than I knew what to do with. Been in the system since I was 8. You know how it goes. New family, honeymoon period, then they realize you're damaged goods. One place made me eat dinner alone in the kitchen because I made the other kids uncomfortable. I'd sit there listening to them laugh in the dining room, forks scraping against the plate like nails on glass. Another family locked their bedroom door at night like I was gonna murder them in their sleep. The sound of that deadbolt sliding shut every night, that stayed with me. By 18, I was done pretending to be grateful. Started picking fights with whoever looked at me wrong. Didn't care if they were twice my size. Kind of preferred it, honestly. The pain felt like something at least. I was crashing on people's couches and getting beat up a lot. One night I walked into a small, rough bar and picked a fight with a guy playing pool. The air was thick with cigarette smoke and something else. Desperation, maybe. Bad idea. Before I could even swing, a huge bouncer grabbed me by the neck. "You got a death wish, kid." I shrugged. Maybe. Tony, that was his name, looked at me for a second, then dragged me through a door I hadn't noticed. It led to a rundown gym that smelled like sweat and broken dreams. The heavy bags hung like body bags in the dim light. "Hit this," he said, pointing at a heavy bag held together with duct tape. I thought he was going to give me some speech about channeling my anger or whatever. Instead, he just showed me how to wrap my hands so I wouldn't break my wrists. His fingers were careful, like he'd done this before for someone who mattered. Came back the next day, and the next. Tony never asked where I lived or why I was so pissed off. Just taught me how to throw a proper hook, how to breathe through the burn. When I'd disappear for a week, drinking or getting arrested, he'd just nod when I showed up again. "You good now?" That was it. But I started noticing things. How he'd leave the gym unlocked when I was having a bad stretch. How food would appear in the fridge upstairs. One morning I found the front door kicked in. Tony was face down behind the counter, blood everywhere. Someone had robbed the place and beaten the shit out of him with a crowbar. The cash register was empty, but they'd taken something else too. Photos from behind the counter. Pictures of kids he'd trained over the years, including one of me. I rode with him to the hospital and stayed in the plastic chair for 3 days until he woke up. "You're still here," he said, surprised. The doctor said he'd need months to recover. Brain injury, broken ribs, the works. I moved into his apartment above the gym. Figured I owed him that much. Weird thing was, taking care of him felt normal. Making sure he ate, driving him to appointments, helping him remember words when his brain got fuzzy. One day, about 4 months in, he looked at me and said, "When did you stop being pissed off all the time?" I hadn't even noticed. Now I run Tony's gym. He still comes in every day, moves a little slower, but he's still Tony. We're family now, I guess. That was 6 years ago. Haven't thrown a punch outside these walls since.